Did you ever imagine when you were first creating these characters and telling these stories that one day you would see someone who'd spent, 16 hours, depending on how complex the costume is, building something to show how much they love it and to let other people know that it means that much to them?
I could not comprehend, could not. Like the idea of, someone covering themselves in paint, like that hot pink paint, and then having to get it off later. I'm like, that commitment, it's very special and I appreciate it very much.
Hello, I'm Rosie Knight, and I'm happy to be here again at the Den of Geek studio at San Diego Comic-Con with the incredible Rachel Smythe. How are you doing?
Hi, it's great to be here.
So nice to see you. So, creator of the award-winning, best-selling OLYMPUS comic, one of the most wonderful and impactful comics of the last decade, probably. How are you feeling to be back at San Diego, Eisner nominated again?
It feels very surreal to be back here. When you go for the first time, you're like, oh, I didn't prep for all this and it's all very new. And it's like, if only I had like a do-over. And now I get a do-over and I'm like, I'm ready, I'm prepped.
It's happening.
It's going to happen, yes.
How does it feel to still be making a comic that is connecting with so many people? And now not just on WEBTOON, but also in book format.
I feel extremely lucky because originally in 2019, I was like, this is peak. And I can't imagine it getting much more visibility than this. And it just kind of keeps going. And like, it's also very daunting in the sense that I'm like, this is a long way up. But it's still really cool. It's fantastic. And I feel it's an opportunity which feels like such a privilege to have. Yeah.
And as a creator, how do you keep finding stories that you want to tell with these characters and in this world? Because longevity is a hard thing to get in the world of comics and webcomics.
I think the most important thing about longevity is making sure that it's fun. Like for you as a creator, you need to make sure, like you need to find the fun no matter what it is or like the passion in it somewhere. Yeah. And I think sometimes if you write or draw from a place where it feels like a have to, I don't think that really lands well with anyone because I think it translates when you're not enjoying yourself. So I think it's better to just aim towards the fun. And even if it may not entirely make sense, it's still more entertaining and has more connection.
Yeah. And you mentioned getting to have a do-over or experience something. And how are you feeling about the Eisners this year? You did your first Eisners very successfully last year.
I'm pumped because last time when I did my speech, I thought I don't know what I thought I would do. And I got out there and I just was, I have no sense of time or judgment. Like that
I feel that.
When, that fair game with the jelly bean jars, like the jelly bean, and they're like, how many jelly beans are in there? And I'm like, 1 billion. And they're like, no ma'am.
It's like 500.
So I got out there and I think to me it was 2 minutes. Mm-hmm. And I think it maybe was 5 seconds. And I was like, and then I left. And I was like, I have so many people to thank. And like the minute that I got off stage, I was like, oh no.
So this year, if you win, you're going to have the speech of dreams.
It will be a long list of thank yous, yes.
What's it like to be in that space? Because I think a lot of people who watch Den of Geek, even people who come to San Diego Comic-Con, they don't really know about the Eisners. So like, what's it like to be in that room at what we kind of call the comic book Oscars?
Oh my God, I can't even describe it. Just... okay, so when you're little and you go to camp and you hate it because you're a nerd and you're like, I can't believe I'm here. But like other sporty kids are like, I love camp.
Yeah.
So I hate camp, but I'm pretty sure this is what camp is supposed to feel like. Yes.
Yeah, you get to sit at a table with other cool creators and just like support each other. And
you don't need to like awkwardly describe what you do. Like people just get it and they're like, oh, you make comics, yes. And then you can have a more in-depth conversation rather than like explaining to people what comics are and how you do it and then all of that.
The webcomics section at the Eisners used to be quite small. It wasn't very expansive. So I think having OLYMPUS on there's really opened up their idea of kind of what webcomics are and kind of opened up the mindset to WEBTOON, which is really nice to see.
It is really, really nice. It's really cool.
And obviously, another cool thing about making a comic like this that has so much fandom is you get to see people cosplaying as your characters. What is that like?
I love it.
Have you seen any so far this year?
I have, and they're beautiful, beautiful, talented people.
If somebody's watching this now and they've heard about Lore Olympus, but they've never read it, how would you describe it? What's your kind of plug of what they can expect if they check it out?
They can expect drama, romance, long-term mutual pining.
Yearning. We love a good
Yearning.
yearn.
And a lot of fantasy.
What can people who are already huge fans of Lore Olympus, what can they look forward to in some of the new stuff that you're working on?
I would say, oh my goodness, it feels so secret squirrel. So I'm trying to like formulate an answer that doesn't like absolutely just like give everything away. But I'm going to say the most. There we go. I feel like that's the most.
I love that so much. And one of the things, I was just doing a different WEBTOON panel with DC, and they revealed that they had made this really beautiful book of Wayne Family Adventures. Lore Olympus was one of the first WEBTOONs to get a big publishing release. What was it like to kind of see it find a new fandom in people who are picking it up at bookstores?
It's been really special because I think prior to the book coming out, I was very, I guess, insecure in the sense that I was like, a lot of people can just read this comic for free. Like, why would they go buy it? But a lot of people bought it. So it's
New York
okay.
Times bestseller list more than once, I believe.
a couple of copies were sold. But yes, I think it's really nice to have like a tangible, special book in the world. I love digital because I think it's very accessible to everyone. But, you know, having like a special book at home is also very cool.
It's very magical. Okay.
Yes.
Before we go, thank you so much for joining us. What would you like to say to the fans who are the people who have kept this comic going and kind of put you in this brilliant kind of dream position?
I think that, I mean, people may disagree with this, but like as a writer and an artist and a person who makes stories, you know, our stories are inconsequential if there's no one there to read them. So like to everyone who has read Lore Olympus, like I have everything I have because of you. So thank you very much from the bottom of my heart.
Thank you so much. And thank you for joining us. Have a great con.
Thank you for having me.